EU treats us very, very unfairly, very badly.
We have to rely on our own defense industrial base. Cannot buy American products when it comes to defense because there is a string attached. There is a double key.
Okay, so we had literal duties that we had to pay. That's what the British called it. It's our duty to pay taxes to the Europeans. In that case, it was the British, but in this case, it's the French, but they're still like buddy buddies. So it's technically more Europeans just telling us that, oh, we don't like the taxes that you're giving us. We're different and we don't work the same way. So we actually take advantage of you. You don't get to do that the other way around. So they're just technically slapping us in the face and they're acting completely dumb when this is what happened in the Civil War. This is what happened during the Napoleon Wars. These tactics of, governing countries coming in and changing laws and structures of government just, through taking over somebody with, the pretty coin, some money, it's big government take over from afar. We've seen it before and it's what wars are, fought over. So for anybody in Europe to act like they have no idea what this is, it's kind of funny because it's written all in your history. So, yeah, he literally just said there's a string attached when you buy American. There was a string attached when we were buying your loan packages during the Civil War. There were strings then. So I don't understand what these loan packages you were giving us in the 1850s were about if you don't follow the same set of rules now, We still take loans out for wars. We're still getting supported by other countries. What is the whole Ukrainian conflict about? We're giving out loans. We're giving money to fight a foreign war that's not on our lands. This is what it's all about, and it's kind of annoying to hear some guy from France act like he has no idea what that is. I find that kind of funny. But yeah, we know what it is.
Zanny Mitten Beddoes is editor-in-chief of The Economist and has a front row seat for the increasingly strained relations between Western Europe and the United States.
I'm struck at how relatively little I think people here are focused on just how dramatically the perception of the US, actually around the world, but particularly in Europe, has changed.
What does she even mean by changed? I mean, how stable has it been? In the whole history of humanity, how stable has it actually been? Go look in your history book. How stable has it been? It's been stable for like a year. It's not even stable. What is she talking about? Was it stable in France for a long time after you were buddies with Britain, raking up all of the riches from all these foreign lands? I bet it was nice. I bet it was nice. Bet it was great. And everything is falling apart. Oopsie, I'm gonna go blame somebody else for it.
Europeans, because they have realized that a significant element of this administration is outright hostile to Europe, doesn't like Europe, particularly the European Union as a concept. One shouldn't exaggerate too much from sort of individual.
Look, I think Trump's a little abrasive and a little like, give me money. But America has defended you and saved you and helped resurrect you from the dust and ashes that you were. And I think he expects some kind of like golden nugget from everybody. For Europe to sit here and act like, I don't know what the Americans want. I don't know what their problem is. I got 30 million people in my border. They have 330 million and they protect me, but I don't know what their problem is. I refuse to buy American goods now. They've been defending me for years. I refuse. Okay, good. Good for you. Good for you. Because literally America is so freaking gigantic, just the way it is right now. We consume all of Europe. So all of your little states that you have in Europe that you call countries, that is holding together by strings, because you guys have a wicked colonial imperialistic past. I mean, we're like these weird mutants that came from you guys. Thanks. Leave us alone. Y'all got some crazy crap going on over there, You drop all the religion and you just sit and you go farm and you plant some plants, you might just realize, oh wow, there's more to life than just fighting with everybody. But apparently the Europeans don't understand that. They are too busy with the Catholic Church, throwing their ideologies all across the land to just, control them without actually spending any money on it. And all the churches are tax-free. Oh, that's great. That's great for anybody who wants to, use religion to control anybody. They don't have to pay taxes. There you go. There's the loophole. All right, let's continue.
Because this is an administration that loves moments of theater. But nonetheless, that dressing down of President Zelensky in the Oval Office had a visceral reaction in Europe because it was watched by, everyone I met had watched it, even people who aren't usually interested in current affairs.
I watched it. I watched it and I thought it was very disrespectful how Trump and JD Vance were talking to him. He's losing his country. Is his country, created correctly, with a British empire taking over and installing their own leader? It wasn't? No, that was Canada last week. No, never mind. I just really think, I mean, Ukraine was ripped away in the 1990s from Russia. Okay? After World War II and their economy slowly corroding away into nothingness. It might create, some inner turmoil in the next leader because he has a lot of people to take care of. And if their economy is destroyed because European allies have restricted those economies, just like they did in the Civil War to the Confederates, just like they did in France, just like they did in Germany, just like they did in Russia, just like they did in India, just like they did in Korea, just like they did in Japan, just like they want to do in China. They want to install somebody, and I honestly, it's just a fight over that resource under the ground, whatever it might be, whatever that company wants it to be. It's probably, a religious thought that came to somebody's head and they just decided to go for it. They could have been watching the Pope and they could have been inspired by some popes writing in the past and decided to do this. I mean, that's how much power it has. So, I look at the Russia-Ukrainian conflict kind of differently after I notice all of that. Is it being done correctly? No. Was it being done correctly before all this? No. Europe is trying to rake in a lot of dough, and it's pretty obvious. And I'm not saying what Russia is doing is okay, but I would be frustrated if the whole world is, infected by the British symbol and their economy and the way they run their lives. I would be pretty pissed off too. And you're supposed to run a whole country with a whole bunch of territory ripped away. I mean, that's kind of a hard feat to do.
Just been shocked at the treatment of this man, this brave man, speaking in his third language by the President of the United States. And those two...
Okay, are you better than all of America because you know 3 languages? He knows more languages. Okay, do you get brownie points because you know an extra language or two? Yeah, Trump and JD Vance, they have a high stature and they're, in power of the strongest military on earth right now. It would be really cool if they were bilingual. That would be kind of cool. That's what I would want to expect from a leader, but no. Instead, I have religious, zealous fanatics who think that they know what they know. And nobody even knows what Trump is. Do you know what he is? Nobody knows what he is. But he plays the religion card and everyone's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're all praying differently. What do you mean, yeah? What do you mean, yeah? If you're a Catholic, you're talking shit about the Baptist. And if you're a Baptist, you're talking shit about the pagans. You're all talking shit about the pagans, actually. You know what I mean? What even is this? What is this?
Well, some powerful examples of, I think, a recognition in Europe that actually maybe the United States is not a country that Europe can rely on. And the country that...
Why are you relying on us? Why are you relying on us? Why do you rely on us to drop off your immigrants that you decided to accept? Why do we have a melting pot, title on our shoulders, but you guys don't? You guys can't control your populations at all. And you keep dropping them off here. Or then you're tricking Canada into joining the EU when it's not even a part of the same continent, if Europe is even a separate continent to begin with. Okay? Hello?
The Atlantic, the NATO agreement, the country that built the post-war order, the country, the United States, has always been...
Oh, thanks for admitting it. She just said the country that made the world order. Yeah, because you control everything. Everybody has to pay taxes and nobody likes their lives. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Of this post-war...
Not real.
Europeans have just been really shocked. And of course things can change. And of course...
Yeah.
There can be, a change in the relationship with Ukraine and all of those things. But even if things...
I love that. They're like, things will change in Ukraine. Things have changed just 25 years from now. What do you mean if things will change? It was a part of the Russian Empire, the SSR, whatever it was, the Soviet Union. It was a part of that, and then it's not in 1999. Why so? Tell me.
Now go to a more conventional place. Europe has been shocked, and shocked such that I think every single politician in Europe is having to think about, can we rely on the United States?
Don't.
Can we
Don't.
really only think about a
Look,
world where we spend more and we
I don't rely on Walmart. I don't think you should be relying on America. Okay? We're Walmart. Okay? We have Walmart people here. We have Walmart standards here. We have the staffing of Walmart. Okay? We're unstable. Everyone at Walmart's mad. We're mad. Okay? Don't rely on us. Okay?
NATO, which is the same except that we spend more? Or do we need to think about having a plan B in case this really is
Okay,
a country that is hostile?
if Europe hasn't thought of a plan B by now, I don't know what to say. How are you guys sleeping at night? Who is this girl? Okay.
to us, and it is outright bent on not having our interests at heart. And that's a really big shift for Europe. And I think that it's something that is going to, the upside, I hope, is that it will be one of those moments that galvanizes Europe.
When you say Europe is shocked, I guess my question is shocked into action. If you're Europe, what do you do?
Well, that's always the question.
What you do if you're in Europe, you probably need to verify that you have all of the land borders, protected and secure. Then you go out in the ocean and you start surveillancing your territory that you own. I mean, these are the first things that come to my mind, okay? I would look at the databases that everything's ran off of. Is it foreign? Is there a signal going near foreign territory? Could they be picking up that information? Okay, well, maybe I need to pull away from that area. Things like that. Be strategic. I hope this girl isn't serious.
Europe, that you can have a lot of pearl clutching and then nothing actually happens. But
Okay, they're gonna clutch their pearls. Are you kidding me?
I think you've seen enough already to take a view
I have.
that this is different. If you look at what's happened in Germany, and
Yeah, okay, if you take a look at what happened in Germany, we took their territory, divided them, and then guess who came out of the dark? Hitler. Okay, what are we doing with Russia? We're taking their land, we're installing government, and we expect them to play with us properly. What do you think is going to happen? Probably another Hitler. Probably. Fun fact, Hitler, he didn't make his ideology. He was following a bunch of other people's ideologies and went with it. So if we had a KKK here in America that was in support of that. There's support in South Africa for that. Okay? It's weird. Don't be like that.
Germany, which is of course the biggest economy in Europe and the one that has been obsessed with its fiscal prudence and its debt brake, would do everything that was necessary to increase defense spending. You've seen other countries in Europe, Poland talking about nuclear weapons. You've seen big changes, and I think this.
I just feel like nobody needs nuclear weapons at this point. Nobody does. Everybody can get fucking pissed off at their phone, and then it changes how they react, Should we really be putting that much power?
Be one of those moments where the European Commission is galvanized. They're making it easier to, find resources to pay for a very significant increase in defense spending. And to give you a scale of it, European Union countries spend about 1.8% of GDP on defense, which is well below, as President Trump will tell you, the 2% that they're supposed to, and certainly nowhere near enough if they can't rely on the United States. How much Europe needs to spend depends on how, darker scenario you want to paint in terms of the US turning its back on Europe and the threat posed by Vladimir Putin.
We're not turning our back on Europe. We just, you know what I want? Just act like Trump isn't here. We were here, okay, in 1850, supporting the European economies, okay? You needed cotton, you needed tobacco, you needed sugar. We did it, okay? Then you said our economy was faulty and the way we were doing it was wrong. You started sending propaganda over the sea, and the Yankees took that propaganda to heart and decided to destroy their southern production, okay? So this is just disrespectful. You destroyed our economy then. We had a Great Depression in the 1930s. We've always been paying taxes ever since the Civil War. That's weird. We've always been paying duties. That's weird. Thought we got our independence from you. What is this? If we didn't get our independence from you, what is going on? And as soon as we back out, you're like, we're done with you. So we're just getting taken advantage of, and it makes Donald Trump look right. Good job. And then everybody who's supposed to be anti-Trump is now sitting here like, oh, I'm wrong, but I'm right, but I'm wrong. Oh my God, what do I do? It is what it is now. Figure it out.
is an
Just be truthful to yourself. Like, there's a lot of like lying going on, and the economy keeps shit together. So if you want shit kept together, understand how the world is taking advantage of our economy. And then as soon as we pull out, they're gonna devalue our dollar. Like, they're gonna play that game. So it's bullcrap.
Greenland, an ice-smothered island now claimed entirely and aggressively by the United States. In the capital Nuuk this morning, the first hints of spring ice breaking.
What did he just say?
National unity. Andrew Harding reports.
It is an exquisite wilderness. Greenland, an ice-smothered island now claimed entirely and aggressively by the United States.
I didn't know that we claimed it was ours. Did we claim that it's ours already? What? This is BBC News. They're saying that it is ours? Okay. I don't recall that, but whatever. Okay.
The first hints of spring ice breaking. And in the harbour, Carl Peter, preparing to go out fishing for halibut with his colleagues, if, that is, they can clear a path to the sea. I asked him about America's president.
I don't feel safe. I'm worried. Trump is trying to control the country.
What do you want to happen?
I want Greenland to control its own fate.
Will an assertive America let that happen? A high-level US delegation arrived pointedly in Greenland. Vice President JD Vance and his wife Usha visiting this remote American military base in the far north, arguing that vital US security concerns are at stake.
I mean, Greenland has to be owned by somebody. How are they going to feed their people? How are they going to feed their people? How are they going to defend their people? How are they going to keep their economy going? Just wondering. How are they going to do it? They literally rely on imports, and a lot of those come from Canada. And you know what? Trump said Canada is his, so he's going to take all that and say, oh, they rely on Canada. I mean, on America. Sorry, there's a big plane going over. I'm always like, oh, there's a plane going over. Pearl Harbor's about to start. But yeah, if you rely on import and you rely on defense from another country, I don't know. I don't really see it. They rely on Canada. Canada is Canada for now until we like invade and take over British Columbia or whatever the strategy is for that. But yeah, I know that it'll help the economy here in America. I think Trump is literally trying to hurt Europe's economy because they're trying to screw us over, which is the norm. So, yeah.
But Greenland's politicians are unimpressed. This afternoon, they were celebrating the formation of a new coalition government to run the island. This is a small community with an emphasis on respect and dialogue. American bullying doesn't go down well here.
All Greenlandic people have already shouted out to the world that the Greenlandic people is the one who's going to decide how the future is going to be.
Not as an American state.
Not as an American state.
But they're gonna rely on North American resources for the whole time they're separate. Where do they get their trees at? How do they build their houses? How do they stay warm? How do they do all that? How they eat? How they do that? I know that they harvest whales and they probably do they do some bird stuff, and they also do like Arctic fox hunting. Maybe some other stuff I don't know. I've done a little bit of research about Greenland. But yeah, you have a lot of runways for airplanes because you rely on imports. So that's something to think about, unfortunately.
The local feeling explains these images. American planes landed in Nuuk this week in preparation for a much more public visit by JD Vance's wife, Usha, but they had to cancel for fear of local protests.
So they're scared. JD Vance and his wife are scared to go to the country that they want to invade. Like, obviously, that's not going to go down well. You want to invade a country, why would you go there? Why would you go there? You talk all this crazy nonsense on the TV, and then you want to go to the country and then go, oh, we had to cancel, they're violent. We called them horrible people, and we want to take their country over. So we're going to go send the vice president and his wife over there. What are you thinking?